Good evening, everybody. Where do you appreciate Papa because happy Easter time to last week and you did Easter and I like to take this opportunity now. I wish you it's your funny. I have when you say appreciate Pa and happy Easter. So one with the Easter and you may encounter be on my years who will be no and yet what name a bay and for so dear amobibia as usual. So him say question they do na sort hele banja na se na Hemaa from a German ma bidwa for now this week here in summer coach a cobra ma edini na ebebre. So make sure you don't move your dial because I'm here to entertain you, keep you grooving, keep you informed from now till 7 o'clock. Na medobaka oh my god and someone also this weekend no obisi eseweni ankasa ebi mu ebi so eja kwaja bo ene eja wenya aba bedru na ede na eja wode aba bedru emu nsam ye de bebro. So making sure so we feed no onion free uncle baby and I would like to take this opportunity to give a big shout to Mr. Nunu baby. I will be a child papa ye bujumbura nyana Aye, Balam Villa. So what's a Ghana Nasa uncle Balam Villa? There is an opportunity for you to go to Balam Villa. Ewo Bujumbura. Na hono okwa all the matches, lead matches na ubenye bi asha wo hono. Na say ye ka ensa so dia ene ehwa e Balam Villa. Na say ye ka se energy pa energy a live band all kinds of food and a place to relax yourself on and one Bujumbura. Na say ukwa code nini ukwa upe discounts of 10% ubwana Hemaa. Not just when you're 10% every spend BRB no you get 10% from on my account Hemaa. So Mr. No make sure baby Biara will be only Bujumbura for United. Now this week he Obibeka said Dana Ekosuwo oh my god. First of all, I'd like to take you to Osi injured police chief inspector provided with prosthetic leg and the new police van. Since I see a positive one, say upra under the new police fund, no, you buying it to me show. I'm a posting nibi. Never bomb a sukkot na yako emra or upra enemra unyasa help. Then from there, also 700k public servant absorb 52% of our revenues. A deputy finance minister Nedisa and Semi Ebetuja. Mefro ha medobe ko abuso kan someone when abuso kan spare pass the one a boy nyana so ka bia kan is ne ya ne to ka ye ne ngo pepe spare pass out ko abuso kan ya benye bi. Now this week or see the center is to be relocated to Efienya Nefienya na waiva. Same year by na aya bosoka for na yo moda na say yo mo the protester be mo na say protest memo. Do you think there's a very good opportunity for them to explore different areas and some attracting new kind of employers and as a new customers and edimun some everywhere. As a new party emerges set to shake Ghana and retrieve and prosecute public fund embezzlers. Since you see a new party be able, this is MPP NDC for was so oba. Wow, when names a wedding on mine is a cano. Not just so who acquire pa. Yes, a new party on the over near Grokra into so no but power MPP NDC or say Mumfa Mumunansi because this time the Enya grown yedi. 2 Ghanaians in grip of FBI for their role in US $6 million romance inheritance scam. Dana Ghana for opinion about Muti Ako room. This is a bansa common in the Irish shop. Yefruwa medo be kokumase AKN USD or 3,550 the first student reinstated. Now where Obinso Ababonte also retract your insensitive comment. AKN USD URO fired. Someone say 11 who some ne buy no ya dokro no ISIS here the call parliament amayaji to say 11. Have you met the Supreme Court already? Eya ablakwa chairman's abonsu. Ablakwa no toto ma we ma chairman's abonsu. Now me de wo KNUST again. I also KNUST student allegedly killed by her friend indebted to him. When in Sembebre and Akoso a Wagana, like as usual, no me di can you now bo no my son is so the assault in Amadia bro. Ain't you waiting in some my bro let just to let you know say and now be before bet your mon camp. Mr. Emmanuel Ashley, my number one accountant and net ufia say wafanaja. Samiyama cooling down hat and net obetenenka ewofia. As the program proceeds, you know, obaya obaso oba broom and net obetenenka ewofia. Ain't man you were feeding and car babia. Our time check at the moment is 90 minutes past 5. Ain't ya did you median ebeshishaswa. With that man I do no memma sami ama achia. Muma inti mame ko sami so na mema sami and chiao briefly and na yemfa and komono and twatwa so sabria. Sami, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Na to say
And
how's your week been?
It's been very well, very well.
Yeah, this week they ask why you busy pa. You for crying now. Me say enya quite you for cry will be was a pay me nipa be for. Send me message.
Hey, I didn't know. I mean, very important.
Oh yeah, very important. But I'm crying one because I'm for saying keja. No. The guy baby out. No me and then who ya ba. That's good. And I maybe said this week so who I napa because mini pabet is set for and now this week I'm afraid try say a friend summit na what is going on and I'm trying so some dear as usual or some friend now ubenya but as to we no na me ankasa me hu de koso so eja for 7 in say utu kwan na this week utu kwan free with a personal question mom if you to kwan free English approach man I just say wama yaso ate sa
see me try my body kakra
ucha body oh me jeme body
some do channel there no opposite moja ni ade ba na say
ucha body so how's the week been?
Oh, it's been okay then. It's been back to work again, so it's the main a bit tiring and everyone can kind of we started me by the all days not started my then you know trying to get into the groove, you know, and into the mood of working again. Yeah, it can be. But apart from that, yes, it's been great. Been great. Yeah, been great.
My main call Mr. Nunu so Mr. Nunu the some of you know my famous Mr. Nunu pa and Mr. Nunu any fear and if you hire but TV sir no my main call Mr. Emmanuel Ashley so Ima good evening.
Good evening.
And how's your week been?
I don't have the usual. Let me say I normal part of your life or brochure it's been good. It's been good.
Sir.
Yes.
Because the normal part and moody and I'll judge the
normal part in the sense that your diet so they have put money as so they have money as
there no social life be
social life in the
me my tea fast me to where you this a joint to be a boss over the weekend.
Oh, why the weekend? Maybe I feel good because there could be
it's a good cousin saying everybody. As if mu call good cause crying and muko to us was a baba one foundation. One of the other not to say baba one
hey, go cause I like a crap.
live band. Hey, yeah, and come on, Obaya. Official pound so. And I say Easter, yeah. And Easter, of course, saying. Of course, I was your okay.
So okay.
I pay per more, it's for per more. Za. When I'm Vietnam, I'm saying before.
It's the same expected events.
Now, this week it has been your highlights for you.
Highlights, still studying. Is it highlight?
Hey, so did you hear what? It's been 4 years in you.
Excuse me.
And say, yeah, to say, I'm saying it's for crab bread.
That's my highlight.
Sir, still studying. Not a baby because it's for my wild because I'm more trying a well-being with Anita. So, and I said, young wow, for your cause almost to be almost show no.
Don't worry.
Into the Ben Alba.
Managers work as
Sir.
Yeah,
Okay. And you better was yeah,
it's so knowledgeable. One academia man, and I need him at one point.
Sir.
The fat charges now, but fees.
Or the charges are papa. Yes, so bad for charges, bro. Yo, ain't one story I would like us to touch on. I think it's one of the earliest story. It came quite recently and I'll say a second year biological student of KNUST is said to have pursued a friend for him to pay a debt. However, the friend is said to have lured the creditor into a bush and killed him. Now, story no okay. Yeah, graphic online Kwajoba for Donko report from Kumasi that the police have arrested the said friend, that's Emmanuel Boating, 25, for alleged murder. The deceased has been identified as 22-year-old Kweku Edujamfi. The suspect allegedly led the now deceased friend into a bush near Sewa, where he was said to have clapped him to death and stole his mobile phone, iPhone 11 Pro Max. Boating was picked up by the police on Saturday, April 2023, for alleged murder. Boating, a tailor apprentice, is currently in the police custody, assisting the police for investigation. Confirming the incident to Graphic Online, the Ashanti Regional Police Public Relations Officer, Assistant Superintendent of the Police, Godwin Ahianyo, said at around 5:30 p.m. on April 22nd, the police in Fayase had information that the body was lying in the bush at Syria. My first story and fan started with Obaya, so and I always refer to you as the mother of the house. Said Obata and then about Ako uni, wash Obama now I could do university. Now when him saw about school, Betiane said. And yes, say accidents being it and answer to rain chamber and answer environmental disaster, but ubina deneka na wako na yakuku akwalano akwako shame. But who story no? What's how do you feel? And Obianim say is not nice, but what do you think at this moment Nima Mikra will be feeling at this time?
Well, I guess it's not just me anyway. So I think so it can be a bad time can be
Obaya mente won kapapa.
Yeah, I think so. This goes for every single person on this panel because we're all parents anyway. So whether it's a woman or a man, anyway, you feel the same thing about your child being killed or something happening to your child. Do I understand that the person who killed him is also a student or no?
Oh yeah, apprentice. There is an apprentice of
okay. It's I mean this is
Taylor apprentice.
Okay. This is a daily occurrence in Ghana and even funny enough anyway, nowadays when I'm actually watching things on Facebook, you get a lot of feeds from Nigeria and stuff like that, and at times it feeds through of so many incidents like this, and like, the case is foolish case and stuff like that. And I know for sure that this thing is happening a lot in Ghana anyway. I think I've said it so many times. It's I think that our government and we need to kind of start arming our police with the right equipment to be able to detect this killing things that is happening, and with the forensic tests and stuff like that, because when so he's going to get away with it. He just lured the person to some bush and just killed that person thinking that he would get away with it. But it's just say Ghana no one and I make an one we be talking for nothing, and it's a worry. And it's like they say obia pay quick money, or obia timis obia ni get your pay, and things they can get over with it. And it's a sad situation. I think any mother will be upset. I mean, the boy is just 22 years old. Can you imagine? A biology student, we don't even know what his life was going to be, and someone just taking his life just like that, just for something that is not even what they make for nothing. And it's a sad situation, and it's very it's happening a lot. It's happening a lot in around Ghana and other parts of Africa anyway. So it's just about time that our government start looking into having the right, I don't know. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's so many issues like with the youth, what's causing all these issues for people thinking that they can do this quick money and how they go about doing this thing. And also having the right, as I said, your friends saying tools to be able to detect how some people were killed and who killed them and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a sad situation. So that's what I can say about the situation.
Yeah, Obaya, but I was my main call, Mr. Emmanuel Ashley. So I remember my last program we talked about this guy, the supposedly father. What they were adopting us in the back, or yes, of na washaya kwalano na onwa kobo kai amrobes just to come and so mubabe to channel na wenyani sika. Obaya make mention of something very important. Say this sort of thing is really kind of a dorsal say a kumobino a dorsal ewo Ghana. When we talk about security ewo Ghana in general now what's his story? How does it? I know say in the past we talked about security ewo Ghana. Yaka security ewo Ghana sa. Now what's his say students? Oh, what school? Not something like this should happen now. Does it mean say a corona also no? I know say we can't stop crime. Are we serious in terms of a juma neniho and I said because this guy is an apprentice and you'll be on a because only BBA. What could have prompted kind of this sort of situation in Ghana?
The extent of stabbing, shooting, and whatever. In fact, recently, let me say, just in the course of the week, Obi say what on a year of your mountain by or saying you remand 20 cities or so you be sure the person. Oh yes,
I think it was less than 20 cities. So
is it? Less than 20
it was
cities,
is it 2 cities or something like that?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot too, no, and the wife, right? They have a bit of an issue, but he's been out for a while, so the wife didn't suspect anything, and suddenly he did. But that's not the story. Nana. Said we have to look at a multifaceted kind of solution to our problem at the moment. Nana, when some of us were young, in fact, in the African context, especially in Ghana, the issue of blood was sort of an abomination. Anything that would bring about blood.
Yeah.
Bad not say be not in the baby paya. And look at the way people look on it as maybe say okuno or whatever. But you may say those are the years past. But I'll tell you, that's what we call culture. That's what we call values of a society. And that is why these people, Nigerians and other West African countries, cherish Ghana so much. Because they saw our culture and our values to be, human-centered. But I'm saying, none of recent times, no, there's been the issue of crime. Nana, say, my name say, be able to this question. The average Ghanaian, every young man wants money by any means necessary, and they've found the shortest route to it is through spirituality. Through some, they say, juju man or some occult or some pastors and all those stuff, who taught them things to do, and they follow them vividly. You see, the issue, Nana, is, in fact, the world is developing. I'll tell you, the Western culture and whatever, American gangster kind of life, is infiltrating because of the internet and whatever. In the past, to say, yeah, once you watch a film, and no film, no video, you may have to go to a cinema or whatever, or be a Caribbean, never be no. But today, every child has access to internet and can know whatever is happening across the world. And there was some philosophy as Ghanaians. Sunyatra is part of our life. Bibi babiano Sunyatra. BBC Ghana phony and somewhere no extreme. Right. We don't look at the consequence. In fact, sometimes I don't know how to put it, whether it's the analytical reasoning to pick on new cultures and new values from other places is what is killing us. Oh, Nana, because seriously, and people believe it is true, it works. It's a belief.
But it works.
Fine. To me, I don't believe it personally.
What works? Juju.
Sakawa, yes.
Sakawa.
To be rich, to make money.
Sakawa is different from Juju, isn't it?
How does it work?
Sakawa no is where people use their psychological to and I said,
But what about
yeah, before no, that was Sakawa. As time grew, then the Sakawa changed from Mukoda Juju no to a more use computer way to
but they say they do that to be able to get the power, convince the whoever. That is the belief. No, but that's the mentality. It is the mentality. Me, I don't believe it personally. I'll tell you for a fact.
If it doesn't work, why would people be doing and getting money?
Fine.
Because psychological, they think it works.
That's what it is.
Well, that Mama Emmanuel reacted to it.
So the point I'm looking at is that has come to infiltrate into our society. Internet and technology has come to infiltrate in the society.
Yeah.
And now, so like we don't have the facilities to be able to monitor these things. You see, here the police be sitting somewhere in a police station and be able to identify some kind of internet activity in a particular place and just move on. We don't have any such thing. So system they are all track. And these are the issues that we have to look at carefully. We may put some of the blame on government. The government in terms of the police, the army, and arming maybe other security agencies to get to hold people accountable, right? By virtue of the necessary tools to be able to work with. That is from the government's perspective. But Nana, I think our communal society, as we had in the past, in terms of a handful, a software and whatever, some of the things they do has to change. In fact, the Ghanaian mentality now, it's not about anything like by its money. Can be a fast when you scan, and that's why I'll tell you, our politicians will kill to get power because our politics will be scan.
Is it not necessary? Is it not interesting? Like you mentioned that during maybe a year before, and I say election year, we hear so many crimes like Enquire and Myra. Remember those serial killers of women and then cry, abandon and all that. And sometimes there's so many stories where even babies from children's home, social services, got lost and whole lot. And during those things allegedly happened during is it election year and those sort of things.
That could be part of the reasons, but I can't have facts to be able to assess that kind of tangent of the argument. But Nana, the point I want to make simply is we have made a society to be dependent on any means necessary, make money, and you will be respected. Nana, when we were young, excuse me to say, to use this word, those days, nobody will respect you, no matter how much you owe, you have. That perception was there. make money and make it genuinely and stuff like that. Now, those things doesn't matter any longer. Get into politics, get into whatever means to make money. And the greed for money, greed itself is evil. But when it's for money, it has no limit. And I think that is what our society is propagating now, right? Showing off your affluence in terms of maybe your cars or whatever. I mean, young who say celebrity be a kojama, you line the cars up and video. I mean, radio station to show. Ghana is now the norm of the society. Right? Ubehuni akobwe fie say you know kita Porsche, okita way, ye twitwa ne ye de gu ho. And every young man wants to also achieve that. So any means necessary. Nana, I'm not saying that that's the exact fact. But we'll share the whole picture. We put the whole picture of the country together. We are losing our values. We are living our culture. We are living our culture and moving towards Western, whatever. I mean, that in fact, that kind of thing. In the past, in Nigeria, in Nigeria, food journey back and be brave. Because almost kind of more peaceful, you know, society be your culture and your values. The thing is, what are policemen doing? What are the policemen doing? What is the policeman will also go there and you take the bribe and enrich himself or herself at the, you know, expense of the nation or national development. And these are the things, I mean, therefore, I would say, as much as you look at the police side and another kind of security side of it, you know, it has a multi-dimensional way of solving the problem. Our pastors, for now, pastors don't preach anything apart from you getting rich. I know, say in those days, pastors preach about the kingdom, and salvation. That makes you think twice. Salvation, that's what it is. And then it is not that again. Prosperity. And as is prosperity for them. The more money they make, the better they feel and control. Right? And politicians are taking the worst scenario as well. You know, build your war chest for a parliamentary election, for whatever election, for appointment or sponsor the government, and then get your businesses going. And these are the things we have to look at. So it's a multifaceted thing that I think our kings and chiefs now are even becoming more than the politicians themselves as well.
Ima tena homa me ko same so say Ima I'm making a lot of submissions what kind of what treaty idea in a very diverse way. Say our culture, our moral support, and even the influence from the people that we look up to, like our chiefs, our pastors, our politicians, you know, the kind of lifestyle, some of the so-called celebrities, the way they live a lavish life in the eyes of social media, and has kind of encouraged the young people, they can lead to live that kind of life. And why not say be when na mokunguma was there mami ko bubu abuona mpapa abuona mensua ewia ketaban so ansana menya be once di bia ko to nsuo. What's your story? Back to this story about this KNUST. As a father, say what do ba ako school wahwe na Ghana so the education no this year na do say free SHS, but them say from SSS no they can no bet you university. Remember we talked about this year mostly in the tuition fee no credit or students and yemfa emo mabani ntua bim. I mean say a wedding now betina obi de neka ye kunna atu ngure mo keke. What's your story? And then what was the first thing that came into your mind?
Well, no, I think it's the same as everyone has said. I think Anita rightly mentioned about how any parent will, obviously, I mean, even if it's not Ubampo, is somewhere a murder situation in there is not something that anyone will not be affected, you know, by. So as a parent, it's probably twice or more than 10 times, 100 times what anyone will feel about hearing the news about Echo University, Echo School. I mean, died from that sort of circumstance. So that would be very unfortunate, isn't it? And I wanted to see the background of that, the guy that was murdered, and as to, I mean, even how many children the parents have. Is he the only child? You know, and thinking about the severity of the pain that the family will be going through. Can you imagine if it's just one child, then coming out of university and then being murdered by that. And even if about one child, I mean, it's an investment. Having a child, going to university, parents always want their kids to do well. So the intention is if any baby and grandma, then even if they are not even looking after you when they grow up,
at least they're independent.
at least they're very much independent, and then so it will be devastating for the family, I suspect, as it probably is for us that even we're not really related to them. So that will be what I would say on that. But I think the broader picture will be, I mean, the sort of issues that lead to someone losing their life, I mean, being murdered, I should say, in that sort of manner, and then you will probably be asking a lot of questions. I mean, the money, what is it? What's an iPhone involved in the situation?
No, he got dying in the car,
Yeah,
and
so
after he was
murdered.
murdered, no, then the guy stole his
So
iPhone.
money involved, and it wouldn't be a lot of money involved. But I suspect it will probably not be the money issue. It probably be anger. And the whatever must have transcribed around when the older
Jack Utie was up radio.
About
No,
why
so I mean,
someone
it's
will
not speculative. It was the point I was going to raise.
Yeah.
We have so many mental issues in Ghana that have not been resolved.
Yeah.
So like the anger now can be banished, so instantly he can do anything before he realizes when it's too late.
Yeah. And you're right. The mental health
issues.
Of,
there are so many
a
of
lot
them
of people
in Ghana.
Come to me also mental health.
Oh yes, sure.
It does. Come to me also, and I was doing into a lot of things, that you can even write the thesis on the course of this. I mean, it's not me reducing the conversation. No, definitely not. But it's a social aspect and the psychology of these things and how it affects people and why people relate into. I mean, and things of this nature. It is very sad. It is very sad. I'm hoping that, I mean, the guy has been arrested.
He's in police custody.
I mean, the law will take his own course.
But have we not heard so many people who were murdered?
It's not going to go away just like that. No. I mean, especially when things comes into the media like that, the ones that people get away with are the ones that we don't get to hear.
Oh, did you not hear about JB Daunka? Did you not hear Ahmed Swanley? Did we not hear about all those stories?
Someone has been arrested. That's whether it's the right person arrested.
Yeah, exactly. This one, somebody has been arrested.
Is still being taken to court as we speak. Well, I mean, but what I'm saying is that there's a justice delivery system that will make sure that the person is prosecuted. I don't think that, because when you say get away with it, they're not going to charge him, and then he's going to be free, and just not even serving the sentence at all. But if you mean that getting away with implies maybe at the severity of what happens, he might not suffer.
Jack Utie was up radio.
So the sentencing guidelines will say, this is murder, premeditated murder. Maybe I say money part of it 20 years, and the minimum years, maybe everyone 10 years. Then maybe they take the minimum and get 10 years. I mean, those things. Of course, the judges always look at the severity of the situation, and then they give their judgment. But I suspect, I don't think this is a case where we'll be very fan of because if and then most especially the person involved is not really a politician, he's not someone of
high
profile. So normally, the people at the bottom there, it's hard for you to get. Yeah, you will basically have to pay the consequences of any, and rightly so. Thinking about this sort of situation, and I'm hoping that the police will do their job as they are required to.
Sammy, better was it. I just want to reiterate a love and lie in himself, also and it's for I beg for say love and lie on someone named love and lie. I'm Kabana or Semen country say or Shamana Utie. A baby, I will be a chairman. I should feel quite what do in the Alpha, quite be to Iviamona in your shortcut. Naya, tie Ababa Besrao. The next story, you better not USD or say about 3,550 out of over 6,000 students of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology whose programs of study were deferred for non-payment of fee have have had their status restored. The following, this followed a window of opportunity offered by the management of the university to the affected students who pay the fee and have their status reinstated. The University Relation Officer, Dr. Daniel Norris Becoin, told the Graphic Online in Kumasi Thursday that about 600 Ghanaian students and 750 foreign students made personal payment, whilst the Dean of Student Scholarship Scheme created for some 2,200 students. The window of opportunity was as a result of the swift intervention of the Student Representative Council of the university and offered as and other stakeholders, which got the authorities agreeing that the affected student who could pay their fee would be their would have their deferment reverted. According to the TOPICAL, the university has instituted an automated system that monitors student fee payment, saying any student who refused to pay would be automatically taken out. He appealed to the student to meet their obligation in order for the university to accrue enough internal generated funds to augment the government's support to run the university. Now, idea me pese me de beba up. Let me say story by there's so many videos up. Ebi mu se nkwala ne kra bo ne bi mu de omusika awa koshe ubamu ebi mu ye the fees in more then they get into other businesses. They invested their school fees into other businesses, and so that they ombenya profits and sana no me the fair course for about a year, and so that they'll be able to accrue a lot of money. Mamin call a Mr. Wait, I'm the best at Emmanuel Ashley, so because unknown accountant or a business minded. This is where some of the stories I say is Nkolani be the Omusika no share into businesses more so that to me accrue profit and some through that, and obviously they will be deferred automatically as per Mr. Bequin the submission or the my, but thankfully it be much your money it be monso your mother up. What says our stories and Nkolani be the school fees a business to the extent if you want to Uber cry or more Uber no. How did they do you think I'm a genius and I say a common a mom take that decision?
No. The question you ask yourself is who has actually done the research, come up to say Kwalano, almost all the 6,000 musical eco-year investment.
Jack,
I am all the time for investment. In fact, and then I'm kind this story about a 6-4 young man. I see he's into business. We're creating here. I'm saying he's earning about £800 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And this assist from students just trying to teach people to play hockey. And he's been covered in the newspaper. But the interesting part of it is if this guy has that mentality, but I told you this university, he might have a business behind him and be going on. Right. And this is the Western world. Because everything this form you free on PF but the creativity, right, of the child is paying off in bits because to earn £800 a month, £800 a month is a lot of money for.
But say a lot of students at the age of 16 do a bit of part-time as well.
That's the point I'm making. Therefore, I have no qualms at all about what is happening at UST. But the issue here is what are they investing the money into? Those who have actually invested the money. Some, I believe, have not invested it anywhere, right? They may have wasted it. But if they have actually invested properly into good ventures, Nana, I'll tell you, sir, they have done very well. And these people, like you said, I'll call them geniuses for thinking aloud and exploring those opportunities. However, my only concern, Kakra, is that what will be the returns on this investment? Wakotoba, see, I look at fuel prices. The city currency as it is now. And by next year, what will be the school fees? Will the school fees increase maybe 1.5-fold or 1.2 or whatever? And all these have to be factored in your investment decision making. I have to finish the school move now, but then some of them might be thinking, say, or say no, you be a say, now you be a Uber no, or no, you be a school next year. No, say Uber next stable. No, the bed and kakra, bro, baby school. No, this car might still be there because you susa car is can't crack on the channel. It's in loan ends. For people say we school, so I can't war. West scenario, Ghana is your school, and I say, wouldn't name you open India, a human win be. Therefore, possibility say, oh, we school, instance of baby school now, can't see or yen a human cracker until say we are in Sabbath to be so. Therefore, I'll say these young men are geniuses, but we have to put them in the proper light. I think what the school is doing, UST is doing behaving as though these young men, all of them, have spent their money into investment and don't want to pay their fees, but they are deferring the courses. The question is the university accusing them for using student loan company money to finance their future, and they may even not come back to the school? Or are they sure that they are the ones who have actually deferred their courses and they will come and study? This is what we have to look at as a nation, because the Oman Coast School and the student loan company, how are you going to get the monies back from them in the future? Right? Because they are not going to be students. What about if this investment whole thing doesn't fall through? At the end of the day, the state has lost, because student loan company will be refinanced by the government. Right? So these are the things I'm saying, as a country, we should analyze and not just take it on, by the make sense will be as any different 6,000 students. 6,000 students will loan and just more money for the country. So if the students say, yes, say you're pumping your money and exams here, how are you going to get the 6,000 students their loans? Let's take it, maybe you'll be at the 20,000 poor times 6,000 to the state. So these are the things I think nationally you must think. I think government and the Ministry of Education, or I don't know, the student loan company, whether they are still affiliated to SNET, our time there is SNET in their financing. While they are still affiliated, no, we have to find out what is happening and be able, I think, just putting these children out because we say they didn't pay their fees near there, no. And say we have not done a good job as a tertiary institution, and for that matter, an education-oriented body in the country, which is the Ministry of Education. Yeah, they haven't gone into this to get certain facts right. That is where my fear lies. But other than that, I'll tell you, say, this investment, papa, then they are geniuses.
Mami ko sami so
Yes.
before some about mami ko sami so say it's interesting say asemi by there's so many debates and about home, and even can USC or more SRC about out also the Joshua about out Mr. Open you umba bear retract the insensitive or see retract your insensitive comments can USD URO no on any brow because Joshua Opi Penifon Panchem said you know Mamboni also the General Secretary of the Nation Union of Ghana Students has called on the University Relation Officer URO of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Dr. Daniel Norris Bequin, to withdraw his comments about the student deferred by the institution. According to Joshua Opi, the comments of Dr. Bequin are insensitive to the plight and ordeal of deferred students. He believed the words of the school spokesperson were mere opinion hovering around withdrawal any examination. In an interview that was on Happy FM morning show with the host Samuel Ishon, the NUG General Secretary shared for even anyone who comes out and says students are being deferred because they use their money for sports betting is very grave and insensitive. It is untrue, and I describe it as bogus. Kind. Basically, papa na sem no be kind, and say, and do you think say he holds water now? Because Mr. Emmanuel actually has a problem. You'll be NAS. However, even if they've done it, now say between me generate way for their future a time in the union now is something he will even kind of encourage. What's your reaction about that?
Let me just say, there were some few bits that I wanted to see if I can get a bit clarity on this. Especially, the student loan company, which I think they call it the student loan and the trust or something like of that. The funding of academic fees, they do fund that through the loan scheme. Still, I mean, when we were at university, that was what it was. Of course, the loan that you pay through SNET.
They pay you, yes.
But is this still the case in Ghana now? say the universities, I mean, students do get loan.
And they pay their own fees.
And then they pay
I
their
think,
fees.
yes,
So,
I think it is
because
safe.
I'm trying to get
I am not very
clarity.
sure.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get clarity.
Yeah.
Because only anything I maybe says a question. Because me said before I be I know program my research because let me pay information but I was looking through the structure of the KNUST university the 2021-22 academic year, the fee structure and how much students are required to pay. And that's why it kind of baffles me. Website now for humanities as an example, humanities and social sciences. The grand total for which include the residential fees and academic, is about £1,351. Sorry, Ghana cedis per academic year, not per
year or semester. Okay,
per academic year. The one that they actually do charge more, which I checked, is midwifery, which is about 3,900, close about 4,000 Ghana cedis. Then the engineering and it goes up a little bit. I mean, the average is about 2,000 Ghana cedis per academic year. So this is where I'm having my trouble, because with these students that have to defer because of non-payments, I mean, suppose that the university want to defer them because of non-payments. Is it a case they actually could not get access to the student loan facility, which is normally when you were going to school, university, those things were available for us to tap into, and therefore you kind of use it to pay your fees. I mean, how do you call it? We don't actually pay residential fee, but we do get money for something very quite small. Yeah. It's not a law. So the trouble I'm having is if it is the case, say the funding is there for students to get the loan and pay their fees, why are the students having trouble to actually pay?
What's up,
because we know university, when you go to university, that responsibility of making sure funding. I'm always of the view, funding university education. Because university, okay, Ghana, they say it's okay, university, you can be somebody. But university should not be and yet by force university. So if you decide to go university now, you should be able to bear some kind of a cost for it. And that's the reason why the SNIT loan facilities, were available for students who, whereby means testing, you can't afford, then therefore those loan facilities are there. So if it is a case that system is still running, and that's it rightly should be now, what is the problem now? Why are students not being able to pay? Because it's not a lot of money. I mean, in terms of we seeing it from our perspective, 1,300 or 1,400, even 2,000 per academic year. It's not a lot of money for students to pay for an academic year. I'm not sure if I'm.
Yeah, it depends because I know some nurses about less than 800. 800 cities into say a salary into 800 cities na ube yetua oka 800 cities now tete womba school fees ebia na private nkra wo bi tete
800 Ghana.
You'll be surprised. Minimum be or yeah, nurse or private school, private
hospitals,
private hospital. Okay. It's that amount. Yes. If I say 20 per corner 800, nipa na me in the kasa and you 800.
Yes.
OTT will be free, ma.
But the logic I'm making,
how much can you save?
It's not salary coming from
parents. I think the logic Sam is trying to make. I don't know. Some of us who went through the system definitely make those days. Our fees was about 800 or something. But the student loan was about 3,000 or something. It's something I lived on.
They have the state that gives them.
Oh yeah, I mean when I was in university, we were getting.
I'll tell you for a fact. Me for one, I lived on student loan all the 3 years of financial education.
But have you paid your loan though?
I paid because my loan somebody before I left the shop.
Maybe so will be hard.
I am very lucky. In fact, me. The figure I pay.
And I'll tell
no, that's not my contribution as net covers my loan.
Oh,
it
wow.
just about it's about less than about 500 B.
And I'll tell
was it no. I know that whole. I know credit semi trust now can maybe a bit Ghana. Will be afraid by now.
Yeah, so internet, but I need to be, Ben. I don't want to be so hard on.
But don't forget, sir, those times,
yes.
sir, to even get the loan, you need somebody who's a civil servant.
Yeah, the guarantee
for them
system.
to guarantee.
It's still there, but it has to be.
But do people grant it? Because if you don't pay for it, that's their
But
pension.
But that is why I wanted to know more about this specific case for students that could not afford to pay. What exactly has got to why can they not be able to pay? Is it because they are not part of the student loan scheme, and do they not get loan, or is the money that is being given is not enough to cover the
but the point is, if the money is not enough, how come they are able to buy a car?
Yeah, but that's the point I was coming
those
to.
are the questions.
Because it cannot be the 6,000 in Uber. And then as I said, by this time, Ghana Uber,
Oh, but also there was Uber, there was bread bakery.
Yeah.
There were other way.
I have no qualms with anyone who felt they want to be entrepreneurial and therefore invest and then make returns from that, because you gauge when the fees is expected for you to pay, because they have this 70-30 system. You have to pay 70% of what your fees are, then the rest you kind of pay that later. So maybe they say, okay, you have some time here, so until before that time never so no maybe now this kind of business, But if that is what is happening, the university has every right to force people to defer. I mean, when you have to pay your university fees. Your man was kind of, I don't know, said that is actually true. Say this is basically what's about. Just based on the story, the way it has been reported, and they say this is mainly why the reason. Which of course, I have my doubts. So BIA will be in the same place. But the problem is, are they not getting enough money from the student loan, or is it just they're taking the money and they actually not using the money?
But I'm not, obviously, I'm speculating on this issue as well, because now when you go to accommodation on campus, it's not very easy for you to get accommodation because of the numbers. So now
I went to university 2 years. I have to sleep in Apioskara.
What's that music?
Well, some village down there, university. I have to sleep in Apioskara for 2 years, 2 academic years. My final year before I got
university accommodation.
I got accommodation to university. In the first and second, but anyway, I was enjoying it in the village because the rooms were much more bigger. And there
were other things as well.
Yeah, you can say that too.
Yeah.
Just outside the university, and the village is there, but then people rent their
places. But where KNUST is, people, I don't know whether you're quite familiar with where KNUST. Now, a lot of people are buying properties around KNUST and building hostels, and those hostels are quite expensive.
Yeah.
Who are inside that is very daunting. So see, I can get around for too late to get out. You're finding the place too dark and too scary because it's huge.
It is very cool.
It's very so for me as a woman going out, coming in and be away late in the morning, you definitely have to have a transportation to be able to get out safe. Because I find
and because it's hostel system, they move in groups because they all kind of, because the hostels are usually huge and massive as well, because the ones the last time I visited UST, you could see massive building like a block of flats, and it's huge. So like they have their own cliques, that sort of thing. Some have buses as well to my KNUST do have bus as well that transport students around. So that in terms of safety, I think is all right. But in terms of how much these hostels are, it can be very expensive as well.
Yeah. So I mean, to be quite honest with you, I wish I know more about what the way the funding for the university is in terms of how students actually fund their university education, because university education cannot be free. I don't think it has to be free. It has to be through a loan finance system, where students will then just like it is here, because it's very, very expensive. You can't expect the government or university alone have to be funding this, and that's the reason why those sorts of facilities are made available for people to tap in, So for whatever reason, for whatever it is that happened, that students, and it's not about 100 students. 6,000. That's a lot.
And that's how I couldn't believe.
Unless there has to be more than just the issue.
That's right.
you know, they can't. I mean, why can't they? Why don't they have the money to pay? Is it not? Maybe the loan is not enough. And look, I'm gonna see whether
no, but I believe if that is the case, then that will be serious because Sammy, if you look back those days, like I told you, I funded myself through student loan.
Yeah.
I never depended on my parents or anything for a day or my 3 years. It's my student loan and, you know, school, you know, contacts here and there. I lived on that for the 3 years. But the key point here is I strongly believe that there's no way there's going to be less than like the 3,000, 4,000 you're talking about. No way. In present time, I expect at least students to be something around 10,000. At least. I don't know exactly how much they give them now. But like I said, so they should be able to fund at least pay their school fees and still live on the rest.
Little bit.
That's right. That's how the student loan is run because the whole idea of the student loan is not about a child coming from a home to school, but it's an adult living independent life on campus, and you take care of yourself, right? So they factor in, you know, things like your accommodation, your feeding, and whatever, not perfectly to be comfortable, but at least
and adding to you know
those
times, you know, sometimes we run out of money because the loan is not
it's coming to the end of the
semester. So you can be on campus for like 2-3 months into a semester, into an academic year, no money available, you know, until getting close to the end of the semester. Then before,
and that is where you get you get the Kenke Salab to be your friend, so that they.
Oh yes, and then I go free room, and it was all part of the parcel of the whole. So they do understand, you know, how the system works, but it was fun, you know, that and Mr. Ashley mentioned rightly the independence of the of an Alajo boy that has been released into the world, released into the world. Go and fertilize.
Go and fertilize.
Yeah, go and fertilize. You know, can you imagine?
I'm sure.
What I was going to say, though, I think really I was waiting for it to get to me because Mr. Ashley mentioned.
This is your time.
Mr. Ashley mentioned that, like, well, if the children have been using the money to invest in doing business, and of course they've done well anyway. But then what I was thinking is, well, how fair is it on the school? Because they obviously needs to facilitate this, you know, being able to pay. Pay everyone. So how is that fair on them anyway? Obviously, I didn't go to invest in Ghana, so it's interesting to know because I never even knew there was a system whereby, you know, you get government fund you guys anyway to complete to a certain level.
There's a loan company.
If that's the case, then they obviously I can't say all this amount of people, about thousands of people have been getting the money and basically doing business on the side, which to me, it sounds like to me, I guess we all speculate because we don't know the full story. So could it be said they know there's a loophole, like you can get away with it, and they are all sort of investing in somewhere else to get a bit more money out of it?
We are wrong, and it's just more than just an issue. Because I mean, the story that came up, you know, the university is accusing them of that is barely the reason why
they didn't pay.
So I assume they've done their space search to know that that's what they're doing.
And is there
the
notes? Okay. And they also say that that's very sensitive for you to say that. It's actually not the case. But I mean, the story now couldn't gather what exactly has caused that. You know, and
that's what the issue is, isn't it? Yes. Not knowing what has caused it. I mean, if whether it's true, says somebody investing in different things or whatever it is, anyway. But the school also needs to fund itself. The school needs to be able to kind of, you know, fix things and do things. So I won't say it's also fair on the school anyway. I think that's what I wanted to add on that. Sorry.
Yeah, but the other side of the coin is how much were they getting? That is what I'm
looking
at. Yes.
I think there's some information missing from this report.
There's some misinformation out there. Yeah.
Yo, it's here for my name is Sabre. Our time check at the moment is 12 minutes past 6. And see me you a video no anchor baby. I say unim say story affect you ebiana o baby onana bi ebiana wan kasakra we one of the students now affect you. You can just contact us or through our Facebook page or call WhatsApp TV on YouTube and as a Facebook and also can ring on the studio line 0208 144 8773 0208 144 773. Not major also na mami your thoughts. Probably you've got a first-hand experience not on a menu a video no enko baby. I'll be right back.
Is all you need. Caston Advisory is a unique advisory firm that provides specialized solutions in tax and business planning, audit and assurance services, company secretarial services, corporate advisory, corporate training, tax policy advisory, charity registration and accounting, gift aid for churches and charitable organizations. Our understanding and industry experience provides a cutting-edge software solution tailor-made for your firm. Locate Caston Advisory in the UK, Suite 4, the Generator Business Center, 95 Miles Road, Meacham, Surrey, CR4 3FH, or call us in the UK on 020-840-81520 or 078-867-15702, or email us at info@castongroup.com. And in Ghana, locate Caston Advisory Suite 5, the first floor of the Zerka Plaza, Tetegu Junction, Southeast Ranger off the Kaswa Highway, or call 0249-700-075. Caston Advisory, the delivery of excellence redefined.
Caston Advisory is what you need.
Trinity Driving School, your #1 driving school in the UK.
Did you know that they're equipped with professional driving instructors who will teach you to pass your test with ease?
So, if you want to pass your test, please look no further.
Contact Trinity Driving School on 07507 116997.
Trinity, safe and responsible driving.
Bema, assassino e bo abebo wo no eno ano no.
Oh, eja, esa asasi, asa wa bo mu miensa.
Asasi ya obepato. Enipa e pato, na se winim se wonya ahoboa se obeto a sa wachi.
Eja, mami, wo dey be strem amon kabi mai. Eja, we dey come strem a. Ka mo ma emeriti wa kakra na. Bi kana ma ba sisi a. Aha, kwaku. Yeah, me just assassin so say o. Assassin the boss sir. Money Unity Link money transfer. Yeah, commercial bank okrom ha. Me say be kan sisi a.
Unity Link money transfer be the best. Unity Link money transfer. Okwan power betimi amani sikantem. Ama wado for Ghana fa na nyina. Your head office 158-160 Balam High Road, SW12 9BN. Website www.unitylink.com. And as a fraying 020-877-22160.
Unity Link. Pa, what's the shoe?
Hey, banjo. Yes, sir. Yeah, banjo. Banjo. Oh, show. Hey, banjo. Yeah, banjo. Why go?
Yo, it's if you're just tuning, just reminding you that this is What's Up Radio, #1 radio station in London. Awareness to media and our Sugusua OTA before say break here and I better keep breaking. No, now we were talking about KNUST. This year as a cool for I say or maybe film call just because they've been entrepreneurship or more ediomusicano invested. I send me back to Jano nukes for annual model or my ba. Edin some of us say where they are not they're more canon and yet now through that no and about 3,500 over students are reinstated or most of them may be a foreign student, a be a home student. But before say better us, I'll just remind you, sir, obey to me and joining the conversation. If you have a first-hand information and that's experience, obey to me and contact me on 0208-144-8773, 0208-144-8773. Namefa akwenya iso nama kamfo balam villa amount. So what Ghana na se uwo inyelisi ana we are simu baby ya. Na peso ko Ghana na ko jojo one place you can go and relax. Balam Villa, Ewo Bujumbura, Accra. Na okwa the place no it is so wabrocha DSTV obetumi ahwe all the live premium matches as it happen when egusua ye hwe ni nyina ho na baby a be relax die ese weni ensa okache me post the link no and that's some of the pictures on our website send ya be abehu now we Ghana ho so na person a feel of abrocha enwa ne Balam Villa okoa baby a be relax maybe I'll bet nas ajojo ho ubenya nyompeti live band the journey so dear or say tasty ankasa not to say odi weni achre ho enti menu we fidie no enko baby a ede inkomo no ebeto aso someone one name Ghana dear yakasa nanadu ni adisho boy ni na ajo abroni onunzi ni because Ghana dear say asem dear chena yanti asem bufra na say yekoda no cry na so we papa. So one of the story that is trending us institution approached with Sewa Brony matters a parliament CID CHRAJ. Sewa Brony makes allegation against the national security. She reiterates having an amorous affairs with the president Akufo-Addo. CHRAJ parliament petitioned over Sewa Brony's allegation. The government is yet to formally respond to Sewa Brony's saga, in which allegations of impropriety were made against the national security operatives purportedly acting on the orders of the president. Ghanaian Canadian Evelyn Adu alias Sewa Brony, in the recent interview with the US-based journalist Kevin Taylor, alleged that national security operatives had staged an armed robbery attack against her. According to her, the move was to retrieve some private material she had about the president, who she alleged she used to be an amorous relationship with. In an awake of the interview, two state institutions have been petitioned formally to act on her allegation, whilst another institution was reportedly seized with the issue since last year. And the story goes on and on and on. So according to them, the allegation, if proven to be true, would amount to human rights abuse of the office, exposing the security of Ghana to external threats, as well as dragging the name of the high office of the presidency into disreputes. And the 3-in-3 petition took their inspiration from the Article 41A, B, and F of the Ghana Constitution 1992. To uphold and defend the Constitution. They further stated they believed the allegation leveled against the president established sufficient grounds for invocation of Article 69(1) of the Constitution. That's in 1992. And the story goes on and on and on and on and on. Mama Fasa story and starting Mr. Nono. So I keep saying Mr. Nono, baby, I will be I feel too much. We didn't need to be free, man. I'm starting to Mr. Emmanuel actually. So Akosia Brony, Adwa Brony, Sewa Brony. Asami by Honsem Bebre na video saba. Yes, Mammy Rebecca says yes, you're down now. As I say, when I'm kai, papa can in Japan, but this is your mammy not down now because just before Sabeba studio, I was listening to papa can in Japan. So on this friend is one on GB every MPP hɔ nti ɔno ɔbɔha wɔse maame Rebecca sisi akwa se ne nim sɛ maame na basa so pa se sisi ane to crack half because oda ona because asɛm na eba no ano edene because buy some pictures be buy videos be buy na che say obi ka say now maame wo yenya ge ya de bia yare bia na nka one Sadi we den kamuko ye nipa mi na mkodi mu nkomo na den na ve dey about this year do say ye tata no because some personal name bi wono ho a ebetumi agu yeah papa adu show boy anymore say this year no more stage murder cry is one Kevin Taylor on so there no or pass ma ka doda and wa ko interview na say I say buha what say no what is there now do you think say we say as a defamation was then there another allegation some na say bro work is there what say no and then but before so no mami mo hele banjo because I say we no emu edin since has a one bro you only Kevin Taylor and on my committee album and now person be go adu show boy and Maziana. What here no what was your initial reaction?
Nana, I've heard of this story, over the media for a while now. And sincerely speaking, don't forget, in politics, some of these things, politicians use them to make themselves popular or to sort of, have their own way over, the government in power that opposition might be using, whatever. And in fact, I didn't actually take it serious. You see, Nanado, naked pictures, BAP on, is it social media and stuff like that. I never saw them anyway, personally, until I think I listened to.
Oh, medium who could be banana names a Photoshopper.
Those are the questions. You can never trust those things. Because if you go back to this Papano story up to today, you haven't got any any credible evidence to support that, So sometimes, until you understand politics, you might make mistakes. I took it, with a pinch of salt. But I'm saying the interview, and this is from the horse's own mouth. And the lady was very smart enough. I don't know how she planned the thing, but I spoke to somebody that say ne partner or Ghana, an army officer. I'm here to actually get those facts. And maybe the person may have advised her, say, when it comes to these matters, you need certain, evidence. But yes, sir, you can never prove it. You are a person against a state institution. And a tape, bro, call or report a case of police station. Police say take it, or recording in all the communication they had in the police station. With the time Hemaa Tiwa was in charge, CID office, they were all recorded, and she gave all these things to the radio station, the TV station, and they played it live. And I was like, wow, so can this be true? Is this true at all? And came out with so many evidence and facts. Some of them, they are irrebuttable. So sincerely speaking, a hot answer can say, hey, not knowing that say there are a few, truth. I'll call them factor. Make us say truth in it. But then the question is, this is the private life of the president. Baby, personally, there's a few issues to be answered. Some time passed. Yeah, Boris Johnson and now concern over this. Say, or there sometimes there was a noise. Yet it said all these things have come to pass. But those things are private lives of the individual, and I see no reason anybody should hold them accountable to that. However, there are two areas. If at all anything is going to happen now, then the state may have to look at, has to do with the facts there. So what do they say? He got onto the presidential jet without any security checks. She went out. She was, according to her, she was out for 45 minutes. The plane was waiting for her on the tarmac, right? It was not by answer plane day 2. That's what she is alleging. Then that is one. And for her to go on a national asset without any security checks, then there should be a few questions there. Then number 2 has to be if it is true, say the state, right, actually arranged that kind of attack on her now, then that's another thing. That would be the president or the leader of the state using his powers, to attack an innocent citizen just because they have a personal score to settle. Because this has nothing to do with national matters. So these are the two areas. And if you say I have to look about the fact that they are two consenting adults and nobody forced her or be MP or whatever. Those ones are very, to me, they are personal decisions that they have made as two adults, consenting adults. And so for that matter, that's how it should go. But for them, say, report on one. I don't know where the base of their report will come from. But the point is, the government here, back here, say the president should not lead the country or whatever into disrepute and all those stories. But that is one side of the coin. Now you have the three institutions that will go into it and come back. I'm a young who say, near an eye, no, a right, and I say wrong. The same is CIA, young and true be a papa, a friend is saying, but John say, child, where you actually. And we are here together.
My main call Obaya so Sawabruni as a media Sebi and I yet wasem Miakasa metie one on one interview. On one the turn as they come racing and that one wasn't with Kevin Taylor right from the beginning and our legit even how I got to know Nanado right from the beginning. No, it will because it's not love at first sight through friends or whatever, or more gets you to know. Now, would say some of the utterances near allegations now all day man. I just say, my meaning the mudu pa. I'm not sure no a normal person, and yet say when yes kabiama no more tono. But even now, no Canada not, and she's living in fear because she's been threatening. And what Canada now one. What's your semi one kasawa junimun? Do you believe says Sasemi able to me I no Koreana? Bear in mind that there is some allegation a year a glass in for example. Chinny Jonas and so can say there was allegations saying Kofosi or mobile threatening or US or no you name the facts behind it. But do you think say it's possible? Say it will be better to me threatening to the extent the interview I meet here from one of them when you pass will be and no pass no crana it wasn't a real pass or not something it makes me a harming or not. Do you think that these kind of allegations?
I think so. Thank you, Nana. I think so with this
situation. Obaya, I mean, say one kapapa.
I think so with this. When I first heard, I think that's the same one you're talking about. On what they camera scene anymore or kind. What I felt was the information that she gave and the dates that she had. And the way she actually prepared herself and put everything forward, to me, it didn't come across as somebody that would spend that. It was intriguing. It was good. Not obviously, yeah, good to listen. I think, you were captured into the conversation, like trying to know what happened and where she went and all that stuff. She actually did a good job by just having all the dates, the facts and how it happened and all that stuff anyway. And I don't think I came from the first interview she did on her own or the one that she sit down and did it, thinking, say, she's lying, to be honest with you. I think I knew, like, whatever she's going to say, they're going to counter it with, it's a fake news or whatever it is. The second one she done with Kevin Taylor is also comes with all the dates and all this information. And obviously, you can tell, this is not lies anyways. You can tell, there's a truth to it. And Ms. Ashley, you mentioned of course now as a plane or
presidential jet.
Yeah, which tells you like obviously somebody that everyone knew that she was linked to the president. So therefore, they didn't do the checks that they were supposed to, because there's no way because I was talking to somebody yesterday who said they've been to see the president in his wherever it's parliament, wherever. When you go, they take your camera, they said you can't do all this. But with her, she actually has something on her that she was able to take pictures of things and that's so it tells me that a lot of people knew that she had a good relationship with the president, and for that reason anyway she could do what she wanted to do. And the interesting thing as well that because I was asking myself when I was watching it, thinking, so how did she? It looked like she planned it, because obviously you can tell that she had a good relationship with the president for a long time, Openasam obviously, and they carried on doing whatever they were doing. But when did it become like, now I'm going to have evidence of it? And as Mr. Ashley said, it felt that somebody probably tipped there, said they after you, and Abibi is seen to know you have evidence of, because she has every evidence. Can normally be why would you be taking pictures and all that stuff? You must have been planning something. So it tells you that she was tipped that something was going on. So therefore she needs to arm herself with some information. You listen to it and then you are intrigued by it all, but I don't know how presidents in this time they can actually brush this one off. It's a big issue that obviously we need to look into. I think say like she's very lucky to be in a camera. It tells you say if she happened to be somebody that is in Ghana, maybe she wouldn't be alive, you know, because she's very lucky that she holds a different passport, you know, so therefore she's not protected because you mentioned obviously she feels threatened and obviously that the Canadian president knows the situation, so she's being protected in Canada anyway. So. And I think with the interview with Kevin Taylor, and she mentioned said people should come out and start saying their story. The only thing I disagree on that particular one is like a lot of people will be scared to do it because the way they actually went after her, like, you know, she's even lucky to be alive. You know, when they followed her, took the money from her or whatever, it's whether it's coming from the president that way and I said in call for they were supposed to control the situation, did a bad job, you know. It could have happened, but like she could have been killed. So wouldn't it be the only place you have is in Ghana? I don't see how a lot of people that have going through this situation, because it tells us that no one she's going through this, and a lot of people, you know, that girls they've got themselves involved in this situation. They don't even know what they're doing. And CBB was to come out, and they are very much not going to be able to come out because this current president tells us that, like, you know, they will find a different way. We are to control situation, and they don't care whether your life, you know, you're not there anymore. That's what I gather from this. And so, like, if they feel they want to get rid of you, just to protect the government and however, is that they will do whatever they want to do. And I think now we need to look into it, because for the Canadian government to be able to sort of give it the protection, then obviously there must be an element of truth in this thing. And there's
based on question, do you think with Akosia Ajobroni, is there Sawabroni issue, and there's a high profile issue, not just an ordinary politician, but the person who holds the highest office in Ghana. Now about out, it will change the game. And for these kind of, remember, say when the Papano issue by people were talking about it, and probably in that case, you know, the lady who was involved was not ready to bring the Papano out, name or pictures out. But now this is the second one and run out evidence, out with pictures, whether it's been doctored or it's been kind of Photoshop or whatever. Things are coming up. Do you think that this will be a platform for the so-called slave queens? You know, some of the so-called politicians, they use it's a warning to politicians or people who hold high class office.
It's quite interesting, and I think this question you might have to ask the guys on the panel as well.
Why?
Because would this stop anyway? I think that with the way the situation is going, this Sewa Bruni lady, you know, the way she's documented things, you know, it kind of tells you that you have to be. She's a smart lady. She's not obviously those young girls now. She's planned and she's done a job whereby she's collected the information that she needs to be able to prove her point. You asked me the question whether it will stop anyone from doing this in the future. I doubt it, but I think if they're still going to do it, I think they'll be careful how they go about it. I'm hoping that they'll be trying to be careful how they go about it. It will not stop, you know, the slave queens and all that following them away, because some of them kind of presence you know, there's another lady Coco, you know, also yes, also you are back and see social media. So it tells you there's so much, we have a big issue, you know. I mean, it tells you how Ghana especially is such like a man's world. They think they can do anything and get on with it, and they are still doing it and getting away because the society allows it to happen. And I don't know if it will stop anyway.
I'm not gonna call L bipolar, just to put it out.
That's what they say, but I don't know if you're not. So it's I doubt if you stop anyway. But I think it's like it's like I don't think it will stop anyway. I think it's some bit me.
Yes, me una ube to me. Yes, question. Oba has a question. I'm the man because una ebema osha who hold the meaning so hold the high PhD. 80 minutes. Yes, it's our question. Una ube to me. Jesus Christ. Since ya akosia bornyi yes people akosia Sewa Broni. Opinion brim. This is ya Udru Flagstaff House in the Parliament. I think your president will go. Yes, this is how the politicians ebi mo ba mukita Edrona unya Imodium. Say no na uyemutu a etimuyem. Yes, no ba corona bebre Imodium to jomuboto. Because yes, abana kokoba no the dinner beto. You don't know. You hana ya what memo no hini bi pa or hini penny movie. Onusuko yi neto. Edebeto wa bonte. Na die ha ya kra ni so wie no sa odi nanim pa nanim ne nine miense sisi ho. Owie no dani naji. Get young girls koto. Na akoto. Wala boloji. Sisi agana mano meni ate papa. Same my memory so.
You know, that's it. The whole story, I think Mr. Ashley touched on some aspect of it, which I think is very important, and that is there is a private matter, between adults, and for whatever moral issues that are,
life is threatened,
but your maybe yourself, who can't be a man casually. This is a private matter between adults. And if the issues of morality, and I'm talking about the issue where the president supposedly is having an affair whilst Ebia Oneneyire, I think a lot of people have actually touched on this. This is an issue where it should be dealt with in that context. Where, but
set national security
where issues like that now, the moral context of it will have to be spoken in. Until this conversation, I want us to remove that part, April.
So you are bringing a hook. Yeah,
because I believe that those aspects, Rebecca is strong enough to chastise the president at home. If those allegations that have been made are actually true, then those aspects. But you see, Nana, this story brings a lot of things out of, and that's why I don't want to touch on the morality aspect, but the issues regarding security and governance. And I think that is where, for me, the concerns are. Ubekaya Kendapa.
National security
and also problems here and also SCE. And one of the problems that we face with Kendapa, which difficulty that I had with Kendapa's issue as a national security guru, I didn't expect he would be that loosely in terms of his WhatsApp conversation, just being out there through that, because his national security is supposed to know better. So that part, or know as a person who is basically taking care of us.
But that tells you the power of a woman. Kai say is a can Bible now. Something crabito no.
It's nothing to do with the power of a woman. It's mainly to do with making sure the issues regarding making sure the things which are meant to be done, they are done in terms of the security aspect of it. I don't see much of a bigger problem with that. But I had my issues that I had with Kendapa is because of a national security. And as a national security guru, me expect this is a national security guru there. As I said, in your office, the work that you basically doing. So the Yanfa and non China, then we go back to the issues regarding the president's when him said the allegations has been said, and this is what the lady basically has been alleging about the issues regarding how easy it is for her to get access to the presidency, and that the security aspect of things, was not really taken care of as it should be. If we make an assumption, say this lady was a spy from the Canadian government, and this is me just loosely making those assumptions. She is a spy from the Canadian government. What this basically is, she could basically walk into the presidency and take information and just send those information to a foreign government with the idea, because we know in the past, if you look at the history of how the CIA has worked, the Russian intelligence agency, if you even watch the Israeli, the Mossad, a lot of time women have been used in that sort of context to be able to get information which is required for national security.
Mr. Emmanuel historian is all.
Okay, you mind that is for me, those are the issues that I'm very concerned about. And that is the reason why when Parliament was petitioned by these 3 pro-NDC members for the president to be impeached, I was just basically going through the 1992 Constitution to even try to see what the impeachment procedures are, and not even necessarily the procedures, but then what qualifies that the president to be impeached. And they make reference to the Article 69, and American or the Article 69, and 69.1. I see under the 1992 Constitution, Article 69, okay, I mean, kind of what the article basically say. To have the president to have it says that the president shall be removed from office if he is found to have acted in willful violation of the oath of allegiance and the presidential oath set out in the second schedule, to or in willful violation of any other provision of the Constitution. That's the first part. And the other say, or to have conducted himself in a manner which brings or is likely to bring the high office of the president into disrepute, ridicule, or contempt. Or second, to prejudicial or inimical to the economy or the security of the state, or to be incapable of performing the functions of the sides of it. So this part will not come in. I think where they're making reference to is these 2 parts, the issue of bringing disrepute and the issue of security. So what it is that they have to prove now is, does the act of the president bring disrepute to the presidency? Does the act of the president actually is a violation of the security of the state? And therefore, so I Bruni or say now or that presidential
suit, yeah.
So there's a place or that or jet so describe it or die. You also die. Or say presidential suit, or die. And then and back and say they will play no more. Also die. If you be or die, or die, you should say be a no crest or that or dear. Some maybe a paperwork be that draw an airship president in a chen hono. We now share information and they come over here. Those sort of things that we need to be happening. So for me, I think it's in the right way.
But the fact that he's been able to, it's also, I agree with you. Say, so he'll be secretly was there to pick up where, but the fact was me and get closer to the president. Anything could have happened.
That is what I'm saying. So the moral aspect there, you can't judge the president. I don't know about because and the president can decide the way he wants to live his life, his moral life. But you see, so we are just dealing with the allegation that has been. We don't know whether it's true or not. We're just basically basing on what the lady has saying and what the information that we. So we just basically. So, but I'm saying, if the allegations that they said has happened, it can be proven. Because and that's the reason why. But the impeachment process, this will be very difficult. I can't see the possibility they will impeach the president because of this. Because you need to be able to gather hardcore evidence to suggest security has been breached and part. That's the only way you can say security has been breached. So I bring for baby. Is sort of security conscious. Or the APA free or the Akomobi. Those sort of things.
So I think
which will be very difficult to prove. Okay, Kazai.
When you come to the issue of breaching of security, it's not a matter of just getting the evidence, the fact from the place, but being able to break the security to get to the president is a problem. And then why can somebody be killed? Why can somebody be killed?
Yeah,
just someone sorting the wall or the barrier.
Yes,
at Jubilee House.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, you cannot say security has been breached. The state security has been breached just because someone will get close to the president. Because the president walk all the time on the street, people get close to him. Does that mean when they get close to you, the security?
Hold on, mommy. I'm saying, hello, Bismarck.
Hello, Hemaa.
Yeah, what's your main car?
Naima pacha meto nkapa na so temi nka.
Meto nkapa. Yem se CCA de ka dear Coso Ewo Ghana a year Ajwa Bruni any president Sawa I don't know why I keep saying Ajwa. I yes Sawa Bruni issue na so de obutu Ghana wa when me know who coach your man's Santa Muidi and I just say what my home from Macra dear na Coso Ewo Jubilee House.
Nana me da say meet maka say me chia WhatsApp radio for omo show Facebook and omo tie o radio o UK and I say we are say afanya nyina me bo bia so official pa efri Ghana I ma me come anim no meet maka say lady na yeah meet maka say lady na or ne mampanyini issues no oba Ghana ha no ma meet maka say so far function here, but I have to say Ghana for can't want no. Me hunu kumasi hasa, me hunu kumasi hasa. Ne mumu the uncle for kakase pa no. There because of by next month on the 11th, you know, uncle for kakase pa na has to say Omambele Kufuado. Any obese the side chicken in sense there. Kumasi de na hima o insadante. And will be also so in Shadam more so the moment only the pedding come one. They do not can say get any opportunity, but only opportunity. And you can say, or in some view, or only the panel I did Sumasia. And you can say, or they back upon thing. Now, this time, I'm Penina couldn't 8 years and I back any moment. And Saturday, my Penina and cover Kaya de Anka, Ghana for to me, I assume ye. No moment, or on your 8 years now, or could finish it. And go for any answer and follow the case. And I said, go for any sort of nature Ghana has it.
Yo, 11, that was the next story I ever come, but to assume your uncle.
Yeah, I'll be coming on 11, you know, like I said, Ghana had my dinner parliament, Ejitu Muse, yeah, approve 11 or Ghana Hano. Didn't Padona, overseer. We actually call the phone on his mobile money and empty and couldn't say empty if Ghana had my tutu or very huge customers packets about Ghana as a in Conforto as you musica a few or more wallet so it's say 11 and 2 million but not has to come it's has to come to into the new year I was before a babon team a bit year na afeno say 11 send it here pa now they go for so can say Montpellier the penifon to parliamentary for no you almost see one time if you say almost say day na ye pass 11 that day national na ye cut sword and I say ye be tamale interchange so I was NDC for ni bumu free parliament or a co tamale and I don't know to do go so almost can say NDC for ni bumu where say there will be an interchange or tamale so they will leave parliament house no now I would do much in any actually a friend said tamale said about yeah Montpellier my pass 11 after much into no Obagana Han Ubusa afan say they send mukani and I pass also send musukani into do not know say 11 did you and this for no armor modern but not some come parliament house no forget about tamale interchange now Montpellier could be a day atumuno ama ka afaso no into Ghana had it anahima do not know musica free omu wallet so na omu say by next month no first May na esas nti esas say say free next month kwande do na be you musica bebre free wallet so na nchemu ampanifo so ba bontene say basa na titu mobile money vendors for no moduma mum na e be kofom paayi if you say do na transaction ni bi because they will be at say Oboko Bank in the street now I walk on the Johnson dan say obobo use in the wallet no e dey any 1.75 cedis no obi a almost obi a all transfer sika e dey all withdraw obi a all transfer sika ana sa charges no e be kwama no nemu say all withdraw draw and then ente emphasize 1.75 no enka ho nemu say all transfer there ana obi bitimi e dey aka ho
Bismarck what yanka yo Bismarck em say online no yente on kapapa etie for a year Bismarck na musini a Owo kuma say ono na betwa imfonyini edemaye about what is going on. Sisi ade o say makoso ya sawa bronyi asem ne de Ghana for mo nkom sawa bronyi ga wa asem a enka o se nka wo de ba beginning na yes sawa bronyi wa asem no so nka o de ba no watwen ama ade show boy we di 8 years you we fe na ade ba na mo de even no na ya de hi on. Ain't next time no so wa asem bia so me pa twhwe kire o ma me wo asem bia na wa be kan ntem enye sabre a watwen a na asem na ba wi afa na de ba yo before said Bismarck beba no na ye sami emsakasemo no na wo so na we were talking about sawabronyi ehho nsem ya na Major or not just what
yeah, I mean, I'm almost done with it. I mean, basically, for being in the position, it's very clear. So I think it's a private matter. The issues regarding the president, whether he did or he did not, now I think we can't basically judge him on that. But maybe the things that we probably questions that need to be asked, and therefore I don't have a problem with maybe Parliament investigate. I don't know if it's the right place. Matisse CID was when the case was reported, said there was an attempt on their life and all of that. There was a case that was open to investigate all of those allegations. I think those side things that happen, if there's a threat to the life now, it has to be investigated. The breach of security around the presidency, although because we can't allow, no matter how the president wants to have an affair with someone, and I'm not talking specifically only this president, the presidency itself needs to be protected in such a way, say, whatever it is that the president will want to do, people go through the proper security channel to check, say, Sani panel, where you'll be and you'll be or fishing for information, their call. You see, they say any Togo for and I say any Cote d'Ivoire for a war. And once you're smart, beautiful, pretty girl. Almost only a slim papa.
Oh, but Sawabronyi, the only slim.
Oh, I say me can't say be as a way, maybe a next president or no slim things no.
Okay.
Maybe I maybe if you could d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire so no so person mo ji oil you know elubo na na. That you find the kid paper. Obviously woman here will come near crack or court. You find some arms so say okay court na ko AD as a mam guy and fire just na you invading Ukraine also be invading no mas another cerebral in the chapter B abe presidency no abe shaky dem akra na e be security nya woni na that is say ya na e ku ye wo Ghana it is asem no dey now making sure say president is actually very much protected.
Yo, Sammy, you better was saying. Sammy Pacho, here, Homa, me, Emza, then I know it. Yo, Mammy and Koso, or see Levy, have you met Supreme Court already? A black no, oh, they are saying you too much. Now, when I was a member of parliament for the North Tongo, Samuel Okujeto Ablako has described as a dangerous. The majority leaders claim that their application to block the collection of e-levy on May 1st on Supreme Court is an exercise of futility. The majority in Parliament in the press conference on Friday downplayed the attempt by 3 members of the minorities to place an injunction on the implementation of the electronic levy. I said the minority MPs have filed an application at the Supreme Court for an injunction on the implementation of the levy pending the hearing of their substantive case challenging the constitutionality of the passage of the e-levy. The majority leader, Osei Mensah-Bonsu, who addressed the media, described the move by the NDC MP as dangerous since there are internal parliamentary processes they could have resorted to. But speaking to the did die on the start today Friday, on Today Friday, Mr. Ablakwa indicated that the majority leader cannot advise a minority on where to seek a redress of matters on the constitution. Basically, that is what Ekoso. Not the name say and yes 24th. Akaka krebi not just May 1st no. Aba na esupe umpe aden de nya pass ye wi enti sisi ade one person send iska bia no na is a why and ntem wanya ntem a edru first May
nana mati say the mom yesika na transfers no nka ho and yeah 11 no enka yesika ebe send e fra brochi
sa
na me say because
yeah tap it's not power.
Yeah,
I know you have Jessica.
And American say, "We say this cafe."
Can that be true?
Yeah, that there was an update on some EB program that I was listening to, and that is what they basically were saying. Say, no, I mean, to be quite honest with you, there is a flip flop of information coming
here and there, exactly.
Yeah,
because in my kind of opinion, me if I ask about Alba, me share that kind. But my
wait there, won't hold on, mommy, because Bismarck about line. So hello, Bismarck. Wait there, me my 1 minute pet never because say Jumedia no ankasa abewe ya no. What's it mean?
Yeah, nana me tun kapa. We just 1 minute. We say, when we say Nancy Ben Mantini on Belico Parliament House, Echo declare say why are quite be or Ghana ha na Ubo Kumasi ha. Once for the nana almost who are quite be if you say. And Chabiana, Pachin number 1, Pachin number 2, 4, the Montusi Cassia, editor and Penny said, also I acquire no more Pachin number 1 or 2 dear. I wore a month yesterday, or who are quite be into some Penny cars. I can't away and all my matter acquire almost my year. And they be so almost as I said, Yadi Asantamai, a Japadia, a year, a war baby, the moment Yadi loan, our China. Now, you by head of a crampo or by head apart from there was so polite, no. Who overhead the Biana or mine Kumasa.
Yo, Bismarck, what's a yanka? Said Bismarck time, not in line, no, and to me, how man, my main call, said, is it Sami on an Alcasa?
Yes,
There be Alcasana Bismarck, Bandiana.
Yeah, and because me say the 11 it doesn't affect the transfer foreign transaction movie. It was bothering me because somebody can say me.
Oh, but the last time, no, can say it doesn't bother you because you did the other corner of it.
But your can say and Kahono, and so you help because him say. And you know, baby, swagoo, so says kind of short, and I say because like I wouldn't even pay attention. But I mean, I'm hoping say it's actually the case. What I heard say it's not going to. I mean, I know some Mr. Ashley will say
yes. I mean, yeah, and I make us say mankind acts not fully, but I, in fact, on presumption, I'll say presumption. No, I think it might not be the case. Because don't forget, no greater part of it comes from the Western world. From outside the country. Yeah, honey, no Ghana was sending 100 cities, 50 cities, 20 cities here. Greater part of the money that goes in the country, in terms of your families here, their remates, that's a greater part of the Momo.
So I think so. If Miss Anyden has 1,000 Ghana,
yes,
a coffee,
yeah,
it will not attract the money because it goes into the account of the Momo
account. Yes.
But if what I think they will charge, so no, that's Ghana or no decide say or no so air transfer Momo Akomo because now no that me fee paying aspect no me I'm
that's what Mr. Ashley can.
But what I'm saying is
it doesn't draw. So the court doesn't even draw straight.
And so if I'm going to draw it, cash. And so I'm going to draw the cash. And that is what people are doing now.
Normally pay the normal charges now. Yes. On that because so tier 11 I mean tier 11 if we have what you say So what I'm saying is, my understanding is, say kind of one no Momo account, no only decided to be or decided to be a business and another Momo account, and so we for the internally for that transaction, which in a way, but even though I'm against e-levy, you know, in the order, and coming into for now, me okay. For now, me okay. Yes.
It's all draw.
That means you still force
cash in hand.
Oh yes, of course. I mean, I'm sure people will find a way around it rather to avoid having to.
Which is actually increase of.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you see, the issue regarding the Supreme Court's the injunction on the e-levy, you know. You see, I mean, sometimes I just don't understand. The end is, you know, they have to realize that they're not going to win a case in the Supreme Court. But I guess it's the principle of it. So the rule of law has to be manifested in this real sense. So when him say is a breach of the Constitution. So you need to make sure say you are shouting that for everyone to know, say you're actually fighting for the rule of law. I get the logic of it. But they have to understand the context of the way cases have been lost in the Supreme Court since immemorial. We know anyway, look, I mean, best 17. I mean, best I can't say I'm impugning the reputation of the Supreme Court, but I've seen things that the judgment that are coming from the Supreme Court.
People that will be in there will be in support of the current.
Yes, that is what my views are. But maybe I can't say that because the case hasn't actually been there. But maybe I can make assumption from when they make a judgment on the case, because specific judgment on cases, for example, cases that they made the ruling say the birth certificate cannot be used as an identification. I feel that ridiculous, you know, in a way. There has been cases where they didn't want the electoral commissioner to be in the ball. I found that to be ridiculous. So there are a lot of judgments that have come, which I find it ridiculous. I can see one of these same things which is going to happen again. They take the case to the Supreme Court and injunction. They're going to throw it away, you know. So I mean, don't know.
You know, my main caught by also because of time, you know.
I think that's some yakadin now. To be honest with you, anyway, I think so.
And your last words.
My last words is I'm not really in support. Obviously, we've talked about this on the program for every week. We talk about this e-levy anyway, whether we like it or not, and it looks like it's coming anyway. But I think the bit I'm probably kind of a bit relieved. I say relieved anyway, but you know it's debatable. Is obviously we don't have to, you know, we'll send this kind of you know, they get the money as a whole, but maybe better I get a bit confused. Well, it's a bit difficult. It's almost this cannot no transfer unless we need cash, basically. So it's encouraging. We've sat here and we talked about how the government wants to make sure that everything be more electrical, using more electronic way of, you know, assessing things. Then we're going back to the situation whereby people are going to be having cash on them. And we know how high crime rate is in Ghana. And that is the concern I have. And I'm telling you, a lot of Ghanaians, I mean, I said this, and a lot of Ghanaians knowing, say, maybe 30 cities or 50 cities will take the cash out and just, you know, risk their life for that anyway. And I can see that happening. And that is the fear that I have anyway. I mean, I was actually having a discussion about this, you know, why the government, because I've said this so many times, like it could have been, the percentage could have been lower and still have the
toll booths
going anyway. But the debate, I was having a discussion with somebody and they said, well, that money from the toll booths, it wasn't coming because it was going to somebody's pocket.
They were getting 350 million a year.
Well, to me anyway, exactly. So then, and I'm saying, so yeah, they are baby. So unless why in such a way, say, you know how you go to Sainsbury's now, you go to Sainsbury's and as soon as you enter your registration number, it will pick up your registration number. Yeah. So I guess if someone was to pay every time you know, system will pick up your registration number, you put the money. See, that's what I'm saying. The system will bet me pick that up, but then that will reduce it. But I'm sure they were getting some money there. You could have kept that money and used that on top of it. But you know, it'll be on a different view of what could work, what's not working. And for me, I still stand by having both of them side by side, because even if it's better than not anything at all. So, well, that's my view. But I do fear, I do reserve a bit of fear for the whole change anyway, and how it's going to impact on our families in Ghana anyway, how they're going to be able to, you know, view how they this electronic way of transactions and how they're going to be doing in the future. And that's what him too much. Is everything okay? So yeah, so that's my submission on it anyway. So yeah,
Mrs. Hemaa, actually, so your last words.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I'll go a little deeper into the issue of the court case, because what it is you say court ruling on the 4th of May. Meanwhile, per the president assent, the law, the very instrument should take effect on the 1st of May. 1st of May is Saturday.
Sunday, actually.
Yeah, it's Sunday, right?
Sunday,
yes. But say Sunday, a weekday, a weekend. However, by legal instrument, it doesn't matter whether it's a weekend or holiday or whatever. Yes. Yeah. So the point is, what they can only do is make us say stop. But by the Financial Arbitration Act, if the law has been signed, the GRA has a mandate to implement it on the very day. Otherwise, GRA also goes against the law. So now it's GRA on one side, the court on the other side to make sure the decision comes, and then the president having signed it on one side. And you see, and we don't know. In fact, I'm just waiting to see what will come out, because it will play out very interestingly. Because until the injunction has been placed on 4th, right? They normally they have to wait until the 4th. Now court for decision, court. That's right.
Is the court saying that they want to hear the injunction application on the 4th?
They are coming with the ruling.
The ruling of the injunction.
And the whole thing will be based on a ruling.
But why 4? Because if the thing is going to be active on the 1st, why are they
court has been on a legal break.
Yeah, but this is an emergency. It's the Supreme Court says that they cannot.
That's the point. It's only the what do you call him? The
because
Chief
in
Justice.
some cases they sit on Sundays.
Yeah, court should be able to sit every day. Yeah. Court should be able to sit every single day.
But that tells you, isn't it?
But that's what it is.
Yeah,
anyway.
It tells you.
So the point is, at the moment, we are in between this legal battle. And you know what will happen on the 1st. So first night, can the NDC go to court and say no by Monday, which is the 2nd? Say no, you can never implement this because your injunction or court I ruling Emma out.
They cannot.
These are the
They cannot, because the president has put a signature to it. So in the real terms of the law, it is law when the instrument will start.
But the president is also not the law.
Yeah, but
and that's
until the judiciary, until the Supreme Court rules.
That's right.
Then because at the moment the Supreme Court hasn't ruled anything.
That's
so
right.
The assumption
so
is that the president has said
it's
because it went through Parliament.
Yeah.
Parliament has given approval.
And I think they have to send it back to Parliament, I think by Monday or Tuesday or something. They have to go back to Parliament. After the president has assented, they have to go back to Parliament for them to then give it out as law.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, but the gymnastics that goes on within this presidency, the presidency of Nana Akufo-Addo has been super controversial with rule of law, and I haven't seen someone who is a champion of rule of law that is mainly, in lot of controversy about the same person that is basically supposedly to be a champion of rule of law. DBR Anyway, you could make a conclusion, say, I mean, because on no rule of law, it's the BSM court. You could make that assumption.
He thinks that he can get away with it, so he can do anything.
He definitely certainly thinks that he can get away with it. At the moment, anyway, people can make their own judgment about their position and what they think about the way the Supreme Court has been polarized in a way. I feel, and it is mainly, I'm not saying it to impugn the Supreme Court, but I feel, judging from how cases has been lost and won in the Supreme Court, that polarization of the Supreme Court, because there's no debate about every president will have to have people in the Supreme Court that basically align towards their thoughts. Because in the Western democracy is very, very similar. America, as we rightly know, Donald Trump will appoint people that
one second, Uncle. The next program now.
When Biden came, he's also bringing people that are very liberal in terms of the way he wants things to go. So that understanding is there. But sometimes there are some cases that you could say clear case, say this is how it should go. You know, when you think about the rule of law, no, and it doesn't go like that. So I mean, I have my concerns about the way cases are won and lost in the
You're empty for Senate. Daye kosoya any pitri. A higher did you na besie. We'd like to take this opportunity na ye mame minya baro better Texan war USA abojimemo Ghana bako you've been one of our flag bearer war USA will be Ghana bako Frank and Odikoso. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you a happy birthday. And then your Maya Shasiabu boss, we looked at KNUST. A student on one kasa obidineka no kwakoje apprentice in ya usuya tailoring. Wakwaku jenenkwa ya efrin and some. Amazisi aduane odi na akane yam. Yefru hoyeta tonight UST why this is here there. Grana mu school fees on this here on my entrepreneurship. Zabro no kan just uchi wano kakra. Omo yena na yeze ebimu ye Uber, ebimu going to bakery, ebimu crowd to chacha. All because they want to increase their money. Na sa se me beto chief accountant osingrano many be nyanza. But when you know kabo mo no na cried fair omo cost no about over 3,500 the are restate omo not total of 6,000. Enti e bon price omo you know benya school fees ni be na omo to omo homework here na they will come back to school no ma I shall say so omo suan. Everyone at see presidential jet mu grim Flagstaff house. Ya go na mama Rebecca Zizi o say baby an order no who so people for eda ho. O call no who say ne o say mpa no asesa. Ye ko bisa me say yes wa brunyi ono na aba no somebody aba to abonten no say say when next o ka just national security e ho abanzem Zizi aga na ye hunzem ye na da abonten. E beche Ukraine Russia war. But you know edidim ne dey call. Every one and sad ye may say pass a Canada bow na better yet you okay you say he live you could see mo. It is as he live you know I be drew a yet that's a net question that I what's your awareness but no one wish as his old year he live. It is on your radio making sure say electronic way is I'm one day why are happy because he's just being selfish also no Osaniska on GI11 binti on any aje. How about all this kind of command mamia? Now mammy so send you come maybe no GI11 now one and mammy because you can now so on the a can't enter an account. Into a head I fan who ain't make sure so you video no uncle baby. Hey, Annie, did you media anyway? Say just remind you, so what's up radio? When is you media so now was so good so I would say that's a net or better make a beam. I bet your 40 or monka oti or buy your babroom or babroni or bow of a new kuno Mr. Quati on electricity for or many tracker beer because Uroha now I gone. I'm a be emphasis dear now baku Jesse Bones so or saying and Casamia the calling that heart to tenenka a year number one accountant a year Mr. Emmanuel Ashley or tenenka cannot make a show say what's a Ghana and not self rabbish now Kogana baby I bet you Joe who party and one Balam Villa a Bujumbura so pay detail now was up in me and not testimony now page on a detail in our mouth. New video baby right after the program. A inspirational hour at the Baba prepare you ready for Monday for another I won't call it hectic week but another working week. Bye bye.